Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Howard with Lisa Howard Coaching. And this morning, I actually wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I didn't get to this topic because I actually had not delegated enough tasks out for my day. And so I'm actually really excited to talk about this topic today because it's very, very important if we are going to develop and grow with our leadership skills that we improve our mastery of these two things specifically, because these are not things that great leaders don't do. Great leaders have really fine-tuned these things so that they can prevent some of the things that happen when we don't delegate or collaborate in our life or in our business. So what I want to talk about, some of the things, the reason why delegation and collaboration is so powerful in as far as increasing our productivity and just really reducing a lot of these symptoms of what happens in our lives when we don't delegate or collaborate with others. So I have a good list of stuff here that I've come up with. So some of the symptoms that we can start to see that are a result of us not delegating tasks to others, and kind of, I think what happens is, especially us as women, we tend to not only want to be able to do it all, but we think that we have to. And so some of the symptoms right away that pop up, if you are experiencing some of these things, then I suggest, I know that it has worked for me, that I suggest that you maybe think of improving your delegation and your collaboration in your life. Okay, so if you are feeling excessively fatigued, if you are feeling angry a lot, if you are having an increased sense of loneliness, like you are the only one in the world experiencing whatever it is that you are experiencing. If you are feeling extra judgmental or critical towards others, and you are maybe overthinking or overanalyzing things, so you're gonna have maybe some symptoms of anxiety and some control issues. If you are feeling like, oh no, oh no, I have no control here, then you may need to improve your delegation and your collaboration skills. So, oh, another thing that happens is that you not only obviously are going to be less productive, so you simply get less done when you're not delegating or collaborating. And also this is a big one, is that you tend to have less patience in your relationships in general. And I think what happens is that because, when we are not delegating and not collaborating with others, and we get into sort of this lone wolf mode, it increases the likelihood that we are comparing ourselves to others, and also, like I said, over analyzing others, and we tend to have what happens, it's called a pride excess. So you're actually reducing the likelihood that you're going to have compassion towards others, and also, I think, are reducing the likelihood that you're going to be able to be compassionate towards yourself. So how do we reduce those things? Why is delegation so powerful? This is why. Here's what happens. Some of the things that happen when we do start to delegate tasks out to other people. It shows that we are humble enough and courageous enough to let go of our egos, and to bring in others into a project that we're trying to complete, or a goal that we're trying to reach, or bringing them into a conversation about an idea that we're trying to have. It shows that you that we are committed to something greater than yourself. So it really, and that actually, when you are not being self-absorbed, it actually, I think, creates an attraction. Others are attracted to you because they see that you're not self-absorbed and that you are open and paying attention to them. So, and what happens when, you know, these other people are being attracted into your lives, sometimes the right people start being attracted into your life a lot sooner, because asking for help and reaching out improves our resourcefulness. It boosts our confidence. And in regards to a business, if you are a network marketer or you are currently trying to grow your business, delegating is something that is going to grow your network like 10 times faster. And I'm just saying 10 times, it maybe is even more than that. This is one of the things that if you're not doing this, then you might be struggling with growing your network and growing your relationships, and getting all the things done that you want to get done. Also, so the other thing that it does is that it builds up your trust through teamwork. And I know it sounds weird because a lot of times people who are not delegating and not collaborating, this is actually the area, I know for myself it has been the area that actually prevents people from delegating and collaborating, is that they have some type of trust issue somewhere in their life. They either have been abused in the past, someone has done them wrong, maybe somebody did you very, very wrong in the past, and so it's hard and it's very scary to think of, you know, handing over a responsibility or a task to another person and giving them the benefit of the doubt that they are gonna, you know, follow through with their end of the agreement. But what happens is that when we do let go of that fear of trusting others, is that we actually are giving other people a chance to prove themselves. And when we do have the right people in our life who we delegate tasks to, and they return to us having completed said task, either in the manner that we expected or sometimes even above and beyond what we expected, what happens is that actually rebuilds our trust in humanity. And this is super essential for, you know, you being able to continue on with your growth, not only your self growth, but also perhaps your business growth, with making improvements in your household, in your home, making improvements within your team, within your organization or your business. So collaboration, I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. So what happens when we collaborate and work with others? So I really wanted to, I guess I'm just going to stop for just a second here, because I really started thinking about this talk in regards to service and production and project management. I'm actually really studying a lot about project management right now. I am hoping to develop a high level of mastery with project management, as I am seeking to grow my early stage startup into a larger company. So this is something that's very important to me. And I really wanted to think of the concept of service with others. I talk a lot about service to others and being selfless and serving other people and other causes and things like that. But this is, I was thinking more in regards to serving with others. And so collaboration is really something that, again, it inspires this level of groupthink, this community awareness that is very, very important, especially these days as our technology changes and our global interaction with one another changes. Having this sense of community awareness and a larger network that is very much expanded beyond these, like, you know, borders of countries and cultural boundaries and stuff like that. Having an awareness of community is something that transcends those walls that we have all built for ourselves. So again, collaborating and having that serving with others is again going to improve growth through education, and it's going to bring in bigger and more ideas and more questions into your project and into your mindset. And it's very, very important when a person, again, so as far as like, if you are, one of those symptoms that we mentioned earlier, that I mentioned earlier when I was talking, was the tendency for people who don't delegate or collaborate to be, have that pride excess and to be constantly kind of judging and comparing other people, because what they're doing is they're constantly telling themselves, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, and then they try to kind of justify how much they're doing, and they will go and look at others that seem to be doing a lot, who look like they're doing it all, but actually probably have master delegation and collaboration. They go and look at those people, and then they compare themselves, and they tend to be highly competitive, like ridiculously competitive. They don't like to lose because it means that they're the ones that are totally responsible. Like, they tend to blame themselves and think they're all totally responsible for a failure that happens or a goal that's not met. And so it actually can also inhibit progress. Like I said, it inhibits growth because it creates this really aggressive feeling of individuality rather than the group think that is a little more reflective of actual reality. We don't, you know, unless you are maybe like a hermited away monk somewhere on the top of the mountain all by yourself, you are in a community. So if you are telling yourself that you don't need to delegate tasks and you don't need to collaborate with others, and these are not skills that can help you in your life, please stop lying to yourself, because every single person, the person you run into at the grocery store, the people standing in line in front of you at the grocery store, the people at the bank, the people in your workplace, anyone that you talk to online, these are all things where you are engaging in the community. And so I really wanted to take a moment to talk on this because it's so important. Okay, so I actually wanted to come up with a couple of things that are common when we're not effectively delegating or collaborating. And then these are things that I've noticed for myself that I've had to slowly and am continuing to improve so that we can be better at delegating and collaborating with others. All right, so 3 things. The very first one is not having enough tasks delegated. So if you right now, again, are feeling like you are totally overwhelmed and like you're doing too much, this might be an area where you need to sit down, do some planning, and figure out some more tasks that you can delegate out to somebody. Even if it's something as simple as finding out which person in the house would be willing to move the laundry for you. So these are simple things, you know, and oftentimes we feel like we don't have other people to delegate our tasks to. And so that's actually another thing is not only not having enough tasks delegated, but also having delegated those tasks possibly to the wrong person. So if you have delegated out a task and things aren't going the way that you would like them to go, address that. Find out whether or not the issue is actually with the person, or maybe perhaps the task itself, or perhaps so the other problem that tends to happen when you're not delegating appropriately is if you are feeling the need to micromanage. So a lot of times people Some people do, and most people, they will ask, if they're unsure of how to do something, they want you to tell them how to do it. But I would say, the large amount of people who you hopefully are choosing to delegate this task to, they don't necessarily want to be told all the hows of how to complete a task. People really, many people don't respond well to that. They want to be able to have some freedom in task accomplishment. When somebody gives them something to do, they want to know that they have the ability to choose how they complete that task. So, you know, if you are, here's a great one, because, and I will say this, I will talk about this one because it is something that is a challenge for myself. So here's the dishes, okay? And I'm using a domestic task that I don't think should ever be necessarily assigned entirely to the female in the home, but does tend to, you know, statistically, women are still doing more domestic tasks in the home. So I'm saying the dishes because this is something that I actually struggle with quite a bit. It is one of the first things that I push off as not being a priority when I am feeling overwhelmed and anxious and having too much on my plate. And I could not imagine what would happen if, you know, would it actually, so let me ask you this, would it actually serve you if you were to delegate out the task? Now, except for, so some rare exceptions to this would be maybe you're teaching a young child, or you are just kind of maybe cueing or reminding your teen once or twice, or maybe a little handful of a few times until they get the hang of the task. That's different. But say that you delegate out the dishes to the husband or to a roommate, or maybe you hire a housekeeper, okay? And you tell them, this is a task on your list of tasks that I need you to complete. And they're like super stoked out to be able to take on this task for you. They likely are happy that they can help you with something. That's what happens when you are giving your tasks to the right people. They see that them helping you is actually really contributing to your feelings of productivity and goodness. And people who are willing to take on those different tasks for you, they enjoy helping you, okay? So say that all of a sudden, so you notice one day that this person put the glasses that usually when you load the dishwasher, you put the glasses all on the right side on the bottom, okay? And that's just the way you do it, and that's the way it looks right to you, okay? Now, logically, if your dishes are in the dishwasher, if they're on the left side, the glasses are going to be just as clean as if they're on the right side, right? Yes. And if they are on the top shelf, they likely are going to be exposed to the same heat, the same dishwashing detergent, the same cycle as the other dishes. But for some reason, you feel compelled. One day you open up the dishwasher and you notice that this person who you delegated your task to complete the dishes actually put the glasses in a different area where you normally would. Now, if you are the kind of person that is actually going to stop what you're doing, stop your life, and actually go and micromanage the way that person has loaded the dishwasher, then you may need to revisit some of those things that I mentioned earlier, which are things like your trust issues and your control. And again, maybe need to just practice delegating out some more tasks and getting used to having others do some tasks for you, because it's not, the micromanaging thing is not attractive, and people don't want to accept delegated tasks from someone that's going to micromanage them. And they also don't want to collaborate and work with someone that is not willing to let go of that control a little bit and allow people to have some sense of management with their task accomplishment. So Again, not enough tasks being delegated and delegating possibly to the wrong person. So, and then 3, the final thing, the last area to address is that simply you might not be delegating the right tasks. So not enough tasks delegated, not right tasks delegated, and they're delegated to the wrong person. Those are some potential areas to address when you are, as a leader in your home, your workplace, or your community, are seeking to improve your delegation and your collaboration. If you stop and you think about people that have accomplished many, many great things in their life, in their companies, their businesses, in our community, they are not people that did everything entirely on their own. Oftentimes it appears that way because sometimes what happens is that person will be elevated into sort of an iconic status where they're the only ones who are publicly acknowledged for everything that they're achieving. Like, here's a great example. So for me, everything that I have been able to accomplish with my goals athletically, academically, and maybe with my business growth, just even in like the last 6 months or so, everyone sees me doing these things and they see, you know, what's on my social media, and they see a picture of me on my website. But, and this is part of why I added this endorsements page to my website just recently, is to make sure that my people have some acknowledgement, because I have not done all of those things and hit my goals by myself. I have been supported day and night from my husband, first of all, who you know, is a human and he's not perfect. And yes, we argue and have had disagreements and many, many challenges within our own relationship that married couples go through. And if I did not have him as my teammate and my, you know, in my corner for me, you know, I would not be able to deliver some of those 1-2 punches that I have been able to deliver to knock stuff out of the park. So that is very, very important. We've got some great friends in our lives that are constantly supportive of my ideas, who, which are many times very, very crazy. And if you right now, like I said, again, possibly one of your symptoms is that you're feeling lonely, and that you're maybe feeling pressure to, like, I'm the only one doing this. Why am I the only one? Likely you have put yourself there in that situation of being alone or not having any assistance. I want to go back and address this. Asking for help improves your resourcefulness, and again, grows your networking abilities and your relationships with your network so much faster. So if you are withdrawn and having maybe some increased symptoms of being antisocial, and I say that I want all of you right now to be super, super aware of my own authenticity. There are, more often than not, I actually enjoy being quietly in our home, not out in large, loud, overstimulating situations. I have to daily take steps to manage my own symptoms of PTSD and anxiety, and also my own ego trying to come in and say things that are self-doubting. These are not things that are only isolated to certain people. Many, many people struggle with social anxiety. So many people, and so many more people go undiagnosed and don't get help for it. So this is a way that technology has allowed us to decrease that antisocial nature a little bit, in that, you know, now, if you aren't necessarily feeling like you want to go and talk to somebody about delegating a task to them, you can simply send them an email message or send them a message just to get the conversation started in regards to delegating out a task to them and seeing if they're interested in taking that on. And this just, I'm going to wrap up the talk now here because I have been speaking for quite some time, and I want you all to have a wonderful day. And hopefully some of the things I've mentioned will help you just kind of ponder things a little bit in regards to you taking some steps to delegate and collaborate more in your own life. But I think it's very, very important to address the fact that when we are delegating and when we are collaborating, we really are slowly building our own community and building a very powerful team that's going to be behind us, I think. So I wanted to just, I guess, close out with the thought that challenging you to ask yourself today, come up with 3 things that you right now are doing that you could delegate out to someone. And then I want you to actually identify 1 thing that you can do to facilitate the actual delegating of those tasks to someone. So maybe make a list. One of the action steps could be you making a list of actual people that you think would be a good fit for the task that you would like to delegate. And then the other thing would be actually emailing or messaging or calling or meeting with those people. And the thing I was going to say just a moment, I kind of had forgot what I was going to say, is that I'm right now saying this from all of the things that I have said in the last few minutes as I've been talking to you have come from my own experience and my own inspiration just in the last couple of weeks of me having finally delegated out some more tasks for myself, which I should have delegated out quite some time ago and could have significantly reduced a large amount of anxiety and increased my productivity. And I now will be launching a wonderful team of social media representatives for my company, and they're going to help me through the summer, and I'm going to kind of teach them a little bit about what I do and the way in which I would like for, or that I, you know, my vision for the way that I would like my content to be out there in the world. And that's very scary because so far, a large amount of the content that's out there is stuff that I have all done. So that is something that's very scary for me, but I am willing to let go of that fear for the greater cause of reaching my goal with my company, which is a pretty big goal, and me trying to grow this early stage startup into a larger international organization for women. So I just wanted to close out with that. If you are feeling like you are struggling, you're not productive, you're super tired, anxious, look at developing your delegation and your collaboration mastery. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day and that you feel powerful and that you don't give up on your dreams and your goals, and you go out there and stay well hydrated and be kind to yourself and forgiving. Take a deep breath. Have a great day. Bye.